That was an evil man that sees your boy Jared. That was an evil devil. You know. So you see on that movie Straw, you got that broken up wall right there. You know, they know what time we in because, you know, Zechariah 6:12, thus speaketh the Lord of hosts, saying, behold, the man whose name is the branch, he should grow up out of his place, and he shall build the temple of the Lord. So, you know, they call it straw because it just goes to that brick and mortar that the Freemasons build with, you know. They want to keep building with stone builders. War against the altar, you know. Because they already know when the Messiah was crucified, remember he sent the earthquakes and the rocks did rent. The veil was split. So, you know, that's why he cast that into the altars, because when he returned in his life, he going to restore the altars. You know, those Masons don't want to work. They don't want to serve the Lord. They rather just keep on building businesses, tear them down, build businesses, tear them down, instead of restoring the altars of the Lord. You know, let's delve deeper into this. Let's hear what Havoc got to say to Sub-Zero. You know, Sub-Zero just represents the Masons, and Havoc obviously just represents Lucifer. So here it is.
With his brawn.
Shouldn't you have captured Liu Kang?
See, Lu battling Havoc.
Why capture Geras?
Because he is the only being who has lived in all prior timelines. Which means the time crystals within him contain the building blocks of all current timelines. Once my Kamidogu are infused with them, I will have the power to remake all timelines as I see fit.
See, Lucifer always, when he want to always author confusion, try to erase the Messiah from every timeline. I'm going to show something in a minute off a movie called Lucy. One moment.
Condemning us all to anarchy.
So they want everybody in rebellion. You know, rebellious. Rebel against Louis Eternal. Rebellious. Rebel Louis. Rebellious. Rebel against Louis Eternal.
Not condemned. Elevated. Perfected. As you will be once I'm finished.
You know, he turned him into Noob Saibot. You know, and who become all blackness. And that's what they want people hearts darkened. They want people full of darkness, no light. Remember, Sub-Zero become Noob Saibot, who's all darkness. Look at this. All right, hear this.
Film a car speeding down a road. Speed up the image infinitely, and the car disappears. So what proof do we have of its existence?
So they want to get, look how Morgan Freeman, like, oh man, that was, oh man, we get rid of Kara from all timelines? We can rule the world. You see, what proof do we have of its existence? Here